So it's been about 5-6 weeks since I released my last episode, and a lot of things have happened on the electrical system here. And I want to show you guys some of the content that I've recorded during the holidays. And so you'll see that if I'm in the shot, I will probably have other clothes on each occasion, and go through what I've been doing and maybe look at some of the CANBUS work that I've been doing and still doing as well, and also have some look at some other cool race car stuff. So I hope you like this episode. So today is quite an important day for the electrical system and the race car. Everything that's built for now is hooked up together, and it's time to power it up. So I'm very excited and a bit nervous, of course. I won't be powering everything up at the same time, and I will start by powering up the PMU, see that everything that used to work are working now. I will then hook up the Emtron KV8, the ECU, and see so everything can communicate with that one. And then I will add the TCU, the transmission control unit, that's never been powered up before. And I will finish off with power up the Motec dash, the C127. So I'm very excited for that. Two units that I've never powered up before. See if I can get communication with them, and hopefully nothing catches on fire. So 1st of January, and I have high hopes for this year. So what I'm currently working on is to get the CAN bus communication working on the electrical system here. And it's quite a bit of a mess here at the moment, considering it's most of the electrical system for an entire race car that's on a small table here. So everything works, so that's good. And time for an update here from the workshop here. And what have I been doing for the last month on the electrical system here? And basically everything is communicating over CANBUS. Not far from finished, but all the components at least can share information. And it's taken a long time actually, because the different manufacturers present the information in different ways, and some were easier to understand, and most of all, for me at least, see the information, and so you can understand what you're actually seeing. For example, I find that the ECU master system is actually quite good to present the information, and also make minor changes to the addresses and the different communication lines. And for example, the Emtron is a bit more complicated, I think, and to me at least, and I don't see a real good way to see the information transmitted and received. So I actually have used the ECU master software for their light client, which is a software that you use to communicate with different components. So for example, I can communicate with this keyboard here, and also the battery isolator I communicate with, and it also shows all the communication on that bus that you're connected to. So that's a good way to see, are the addresses correct, or what's the update frequency and everything. So it's a good way to see, is it actually sending out what I think it's sending out. So that has been taking some time to just get my head wrapped around it, and as I said, far from finished here, and I'm just starting out, but I'm starting to get a sense of what I'm looking at. To prepare for the first start with the electrical system here, I've package the injectors up, and I'm going to send them out for cleaning at one of my go-to places, BGP Race. So I can recommend them for both injector services, and also it's one of the places where I get my supplies for the electrical system, sensors and everything.
I thought we should have a quick look at how the different manufacturers present their CANBUS information for the different systems. And this is something that makes this quite, at least a bit difficult, considering they present it in different ways. And here we have the Ecumaster PMU client, and here you have the addresses for the CANTCU, the transmission control unit, and this is the information coming from it. And this like Greek pretty much, and I have no idea at the moment what this is. I would have to look at the software there, but for example, it could be what temperature the oil is, which gear it is in, and something similar. And since it isn't hooked up to a transmission at the moment, there's not a whole lot of information here that's making any sense. So, but this is an example of a pretty good presentation on what's happening on the bus here. And if you look to from the ECU here, I've actually been fiddling around in the ECU software and accidentally changed the address for the what is transmitting out on the bus. So there's a whole lot of information missing here. So this is a good way to find out if you're what's actually happening, if you're getting any information. And here you can see that it's hardly getting any information at all, just one line here. And if you look at the other one here, there's nothing. So something has gone wrong here, and there's nothing damaged or anything. You just have to change some numbers in the address, and everything will be fine. And we can go over to the Ecumaster Lite client. So restore the connection here, and here you can see all the information on the bus, on the CAN1 bus, what's going on here. And here you can see that it's as I showed earlier, just one line here from the ECU, and all of these are from the ISO Racing infrared temperature sensors. And here we have, I think this is the transmission, and here we actually have the some of this is from the CANBUS keyboard. So here you can see all the information that's going out on this bus that is the interface unit is connected to. So this is really good to see what is going on and see if there's any addresses that are close to each other, and it's pretty easy to use it to look for issues. So I really like this view here. And then we can look at the CANTCU software here, and here we can see that it's working. It gets power, and that it's getting information from the ECU, and it's red here on transmission, and that's because the transmission isn't well, there is no transmission. And here you can see the load on the different buses, and CAN1 and CAN2 in this case is connected to the transmission, but since there is no transmission, there's no load. And there's a 7% load on CAN3 here, which is the CAN1 bus on the harness itself. But it isn't really presenting any real values here. And if I go into the setup menu for the CAN bus, what I can do here is pretty much just use the add the addresses and everything and different functions and program what information I want to send out and receive. So, but it still uses the hexadecimal system, and so after a while you get used to it and it starts working. No. And then we bring up the Emtron here, and Emtron uses a whole other way to show the information. And at the moment there's no the computer isn't connected to the ECU, so there's no information here, but there would be some information here, but just some volt information, and so it's presented completely different. So there's no hexadecimal or the data bus lines or anything, so that's a bit they're gone in a different way. So that makes it a bit more difficult, and it also doesn't use hexadecimal. It uses the normal decimal system when you address, choose which addresses you use. So you have to use the calculator to change, to know which address you're supposed to put in. So close that. And the Motec uses a hexadecimal system as well, but also that it's a bit different as well, and it also is not connected to this computer at the moment. I can't show it. But that's a quick look, yeah, and why it becomes complicated if you buy equipment from different manufacturers. Even you can get it working and it will work fine, but of course if you use the same system, it's probably much easier. So while looking at the DomiWorks website, I saw that they had actually one of their own backplates. So, and they are made for the paddle shifters that I have, which are made by DomiWorks as well. So I thought, why not save me some time and buy this instead. This backplate isn't made for this steering wheel. The idea is that the buttons are mounted up here, so it's turned around 180 degrees, but you can do it this way as well. So, and I actually prefer to have the buttons down here, since the buttons up here risk to block the view from the dash. The only thing that I can see that could be something negative is that this the mounting point for the paddle shifters here are not completely level. They're a bit angled downwards now, so normally they will be angled slightly up. Probably not an issue, but it could be rectified with just adding some bigger paddles, which is not that difficult to make. But I actually like this as it is right now. And since I'm not really sure how I want the layout here, I'm not gonna cut the wires. I'm just gonna keep the length and route them something like this. And the buttons are in transit. I ordered them a couple of days ago. And then I'm going to be using one of these curly cables that I bought. And it has a lot of wires inside. So there's a lot of possibilities to add buttons and different kind of potentiometers and encoders. So there's a lot of good possibilities to add more buttons and also different rotary encoders or something like that. So we'll see what happens in the future. And the paddles communicate with the CANTCU just with the normal wires, 1 ground and 2 leads, or 2 signal, and most other buttons, or in what I will choose in the future, will communicate with either the Motec dash or the any other component over CANBUS later on. And that is already prepared in the harness. So being this close to installing the electrical system in the race car is a long time coming, and I'm really happy that I'm so close. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And just gonna get the last CANBUS stuff that's needed for the startup done, and then I'm gonna take everything to the garage and start installing everything. So, and on the engine itself, there's some welding that's needed to be done for some additional sensors, and you know, power leads and that kind of thing. So it's not that much work, but it's some work still left. But it's very close, so I'm really happy for that. So until next time, follow my channel, like this video, and I hope to see you guys in the near future. Bye.